like to apologize for our little conversation earlier.
This harassment thing is just not making any sense. After working for this film for almost 2 years together, collaborating, I felt that we were on the same page, and I felt good in the moment. And for her to use this vulnerable moment against me, it's just disgusting.
Hollywood feuds are like a spectator sport, and every now and then, a rivalry emerges that takes the drama to new heights. Imagine this. Justin Baldoni, a filmmaker known for adapting heart-wrenching Nicholas Sparks novels, suddenly finds himself tangled in a web of scandal with none other than Blake Lively, Hollywood's darling and reigning queen of sass. Now throw in Ryan Reynolds, one of the funniest men alive, and pop icon Taylor Swift, and you've got the makings of a drama so over the top it sounds like the plot of a blockbuster. Oh, and did I mention there's a $400 million lawsuit at the center of it all? This tale of clashing egos and big power plays might just be the most thrilling Hollywood feud we've seen in a decade. So, what's the real story? Did Blake Lively hatch a plan to ruin Justin Baldoni's career, or is Baldoni merely a pawn in a larger Hollywood game where power and influence mean everything? Get ready, because the drama is just heating up and we're diving headfirst into it. Oh, and before we begin, you know the drill, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Why? Because who doesn't love a little Hollywood gossip with their morning coffee, right?
Hours together in the editing room when she wanted to come in and see what I was working on. No director would ever let an actor just come in and help them edit the film. And just because I said no, the one time I said no, when she wanted to edit the entire film with me, I said, listen, just come back after I got something together. I'll show you what I have and give me some notes on it. And just because I said no that one time in the entire 2 years, suddenly I blocked out of my own picture. Sony's giving it to her. Ryan and Taylor are going to promote it. And I'm just left to be in some dungeon in my own movie premiere that I worked on for 5 years.
Now, let's break down this chaotic whirlwind of a feud and get to the bottom of who's really pulling the strings. To understand how things got so messy, we have to start with a classic Hollywood move: leaked receipts. If there's one thing that celebrities can't seem to get a handle on, it's keeping their private conversations private. In the era of social media, nothing stays under wraps for long, and text messages, voice memos, and even video footage quickly find their way into the public eye. Blake Lively kicked off this scandal by accusing Justin Baldoni of some pretty unprofessional on-set behavior, specifically claiming that he took it upon himself to improvise intimate scenes without warning anyone in advance. Obviously not cool. But in a twist straight out of a soap opera, leaked text messages paint a very different picture of what really happened. In these messages, it appears that Blake may have actually been calling the shots during those now infamous scenes. Some reports suggest that she bypassed the film's intimacy coordinators entirely, directing the scenes herself like she was auditioning for a role as the next Quentin Tarantino. There's even video footage showing Blake allegedly taking control of the set, contradicting her own claims about Baldoni's behavior. With this kind of damning evidence, you'd think the scandal would transform into a full-fledged courtroom drama, but Hollywood has a way of playing out these feuds like the world's longest reality TV show. Instead of settling the matter behind closed doors, the situation spiraled into a spectacle for the public, giving us all front-row seats to the chaos. But wait, it gets better, or worse, depending on how you look at it. Text messages and videos aren't the only things stirring the pot. This feud quickly escalated into a power struggle over creative control. Hollywood has always been known for its egos, and when you put two people like Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni on a set together, it's almost guaranteed that sparks will fly. But this wasn't just any ordinary creative clash. Blake wasn't content to simply act in the movie. No, she wanted to be involved in the editing process as well. She reportedly demanded co-editorial control, which essentially meant she wanted a say in which scenes would make the final cut of the film, like she was curating her own Instagram feed. Naturally, Justin Baldoni wasn't on board with this arrangement. He's the director after all, and in Hollywood there's a delicate balance of power between actors and filmmakers. Blake's demand to be involved in the film's editing process was a major overreach in Baldoni's eyes, and he politely declined. But Blake wasn't one to take no for an answer. That's when things really took a dramatic turn. Instead of backing down, Blake allegedly brought in some heavy hitters to support her cause. Enter Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. Because if you're going to have a Hollywood feud, why not bring in two A-listers to back you up? Rumor has it that Blake used her considerable influence to pressure Sony, the studio behind the movie, to side with her vision. Picture the scene. Ryan Reynolds cracking jokes to lighten the mood, Taylor Swift jotting down potential lyrics for her next diss track, and Justin Baldoni sitting at the boardroom table, wondering how his romantic drama had turned into an all-out celebrity showdown. In Hollywood, having powerful friends can tip the scales in your favor, and when two of the biggest names in entertainment throw their support behind you, it's hard for anyone to stand in your way. With Blake, Ryan, and Taylor in her corner, it seemed like Baldoni's position was rapidly crumbling. The battle for creative control, however, was just one piece of this feud's intricate puzzle. As the situation developed, Justin Baldoni started to realize that alliances in Hollywood are as fleeting as box office success. He thought he had an ally in Colleen Hoover, the best-selling author whose book was the basis for the movie. Hoover had been a vocal supporter of Baldoni from the start, praising his work on the project. But then, like a scene out of a dramatic thriller, Hoover suddenly flipped the script. Seemingly out of nowhere, she began backing Blake lively, aligning herself with the actress and leaving Baldoni to wonder what had gone wrong. Did Blake offer Colleen Hoover something she couldn't refuse? Perhaps the promise of future collaborations or access to Hollywood's inner circle. No one knows for sure, but whatever it was, it worked. Justin went from being the golden boy with the full support of the book's author to watching in disbelief as his supposed ally joined Team Blake. It was a stunning reversal, and one that left Baldoni feeling betrayed, like he was living in his own real-life soap opera. In Hollywood, friendships and alliances are often built on convenience, and when the chips are down, loyalty can be hard to find. But the drama didn't stop with Colleen Hoover's defection. According to insiders, Blake Lively allegedly started rallying other members of the production team to her side, turning what was once a collaborative movie project into a battleground of shifting alliances and backstabbing. It was like a game of Survivor, only instead of competing for immunity idols, the cast and crew were vying for control over the movie's final vision.
Before the break, and then after the break, suddenly there's this weird thing going on with all these demands. I met them at their place, and Ryan blows up on me. And then Taylor's looking at me like I'm some criminal. And then even after all that, we still got along well. We talked to each other with respect and got along.
I would like to apologize for our little conversation earlier. You're a nice guy, you know? You're just such a nice guy. You're pro-women, you're pro-nice, just so nice.
Justin Baldoni, meanwhile, found himself isolated, trying to salvage what was left of his directorial authority as collaborators jumped ship to join Blake's camp. Behind the scenes, things got even messier. While Justin continued to publicly praise Blake's talent in interviews, complimenting her professionalism and calling her a brilliant actress, the reality behind closed doors was a very different story. According to rumors, Blake was allegedly undermining Justin at every turn, taking subtle jabs and positioning herself as the true creative force behind the film. In public, it looked like they were the perfect team, but in private, the tension was palpable. It was the Hollywood equivalent of a chess match, with both sides making calculated moves but neither willing to reveal their true strategy. And then there were the accusations of manipulation, because let's be honest, no Hollywood scandal is complete without someone being accused of pulling strings behind the scenes. According to multiple reports, Blake wasn't just content to influence the direction of the film. She was allegedly orchestrating a full-scale campaign to turn the production against Justin Baldoni, using her star power and connections to sway studio executives and crew members to her side. It was like she was playing a game of chess, moving people around the board to suit her own agenda. Suddenly, Justin was left looking like the odd man out, struggling to keep his project from unraveling as Blake's influence grew. The situation got so out of hand that comparisons were even made between Blake's actions and those of Amber Heard during her highly publicized legal battle with Johnny Depp. Some began speculating that Blake had mastered the art of public manipulation, carefully crafting her image as Hollywood's golden girl while allegedly sabotaging her collaborators behind the scenes. If this was true, it was a masterclass in deceit, and some suggested Blake should be awarded an Oscar, not for her acting but for her ability to control the narrative. But while the accusations were flying, it's important to remember that Hollywood is built on rumors, and not everything is as it seems. The real question at the heart of this drama is whether Blake Lively was really the puppet master, pulling the strings all along, or if Justin Baldoni was simply caught in the middle of a much larger power struggle that he couldn't control. Truth is likely buried somewhere beneath layers of gossip, leaked text messages, and conflicting accounts from insiders. As with all Hollywood scandals, there's no clear-cut answer. Was Blake Lively a calculating mastermind or just an actress standing her ground in a male-dominated industry? Was Justin Baldoni the victim of a smear campaign, or did he contribute to the mess with his own missteps? The only certainty is that this feud will go down as one of Hollywood's juiciest sagas. It's a classic case of he said, she said, but with multi-million-dollar contracts, powerful friendships, and the entire internet weighing in on who's in the right. In the end, Hollywood's biggest dramas aren't always confined to the screen. The real entertainment happens behind the scenes, where egos clash, alliances shift, and the stakes are sky high. Whether or not we ever get to the bottom of what truly went down between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, one thing is for sure: this story has given us all plenty to talk about. And if history is any indicator, Hollywood's next big scandal is probably just around the corner. So stay tuned, because in the world of celebrity, the drama never really ends, it just gets juicier.